Doesn't that water all look so cool? It's the study of geometry, week number 2 of our summer stitch along. We're gonna head on into the water and we'll tell you what you're going to get involved with today. So visualize paddle boats on this beautiful calm pond. Puppy dog is absolutely loving it. I heard though, don't grab the orange boat because you're gonna end up going in circles. But in week number 2, we are going to finish your diamond shapes and get ourselves all the way to the border. So we have to paddle boat ourselves to the other side of this pond in this particular series today. And it's gonna be a lot of fun and you'll see how it's all coming together. I didn't wanna drag you with doing too many steps too slowly. So we're going to actually get that done today. And we're also going to have a good time. Well, I hope so. So let's go grab a boat. I think the dog is just gonna go paddle herself and I'll see you at the end of this tutorial. So let's get started and head on into the studio now.
Welcome back to week number 2, and hopefully you hustled back from the park and here you are, and we're going to grab a paddle boat today and we're going to get ourselves to the other side of the diamond. So in this case what we have is week number 2. Here's the pretty pictures. We have the little bit of a description of what's happening. We have the pattern written out and also we have the joining section just like you see. So we also have a crochet diagram available to you which is going to get you through the rest of this particular one. So the grayed out area here is the tulip stitch that we just did, and so now we just have the remaining that we have, and it's basically what you already know. Here I want to indicate to you when you're ready to sew all your diamonds together, you're going to do that at the end of this week, and what you want to do is that you want to start on one side and start whip stitching together and go all the way across the center point and continue on to this side. So then these two diamonds will pull into these two diamonds. Then you'll put these two together and go all the way across, and then finally you'll do that. You can do it in any order, but I would recommend that. When I was doing it I decided not to just whip stitch just one side and do all 6. It was better to go all the way across because it could pull these diamond shapes into each other. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the diagram now and we're gonna continue our journey in just a moment. So we're gonna pick up on round number 9 and we have the tulip stitch already in, and so round number 9 is just straight shot of double crochets. What I need you to pay attention to the most is that when we get in here, let me just bring you in a little closer so you can see that, is that remember that we just chained 1 after we did this section before this popcorn. So you'll put 1 double crochet in there, 1 into the popcorn, and then these chain 2 spaces each have 2 double crochets in it. Watch this one here also in the corner is that there's only 1 chain 1 space, so only make sure there's 1 there, and then we're going to continue to the corner. So the corner here will be 2 double crochet, 1 treble, chain 1, 1 treble, and 2 double crochet, and you'll just make your way across. So you have to just pay attention to the ones that are the chain 1 spaces that are on each side of each side, and that should be okay. So let's just grab our color. We're moving on to the color A for this particular choice, and let's begin to do that next. So back to the sample we go with the color A. It could be any color that you wish, and we want to join ourselves into the chain 1 space of the midpoint, and we're going to just join with a slip stitch and then chain 4. So 1 2 3, that's your double crochet, and the 4th is your chain 1 space, and then double crochet in the same spot. To maintain the balance, we're just going to double crochet the next 2 in a row, and this is just before the popcorn in just a moment. So this chain 1 space, just only put 1 double crochet in that space. Now you're gonna work with the top of these popcorns, so you're just gonna go right into there where it's joining and locking. So there's only 1 stitch in the top of those popcorns, and then these chain 2 spaces all have 2 double crochets in them. Okay, so 1 in the top of the popcorn and then 2 in the chain 2 spaces. So I want you to do this, and I'll see you close to the next corner, and we'll just recap to make sure that you're putting in the right amount of stitches. Now this is the last popcorn before the corner, so just put in 1 single crochet in that chain 1 space only, and then continue to the corner with double crochets in each of the stitches. And then in the chain 1 space right there, you're going to apply the regular corner that you know. So it's 2 double crochet and 1 treble. Okay, let's turn our work. Chain 1 and then just do the reverse, so you'll do a treble first and then 2 double crochet, and then starting in the first stitch going out, just placing those double crochets all the way until you get to the first chain 1 space. And the chain 1 space only has 1 double crochet in it, and then you're working with the popcorns, and then you're back to 2 chains, 2 chain spaces there. So just put in 2 double crochet. So okay, so just put 1 into the popcorn and 2 into the chain 2 spaces, and we'll meet at the midpoint in just a moment. So I'm watching for the midpoint coming up because I want to watch for that chain 1 space, which is coming shortly. When I was doing the prototyping, sometimes I was missing it and I was putting 2 in to that space just out of habit. So here is the space, so it's just 1 double crochet, and then keep double crocheting into the stitches until you get to the actual corner of the midpoint, which is next. So in this it's just 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet. So I want you to do what you already know for the remaining of this round. This is round number 9, and just don't forget these chain 1 spaces and also your corners of 2 double crochet, 1 treble, chain 1, 1 treble, 2 double crochets, and we'll meet you back here at the beginning of this round in just a moment. So I'm coming all the way around. Don't forget that chain 1 space is just before the ending here, so just only put 1 in there and just fill the rest in with double crochet, which is there's only 2 left after that, and then just join it to the 3rd chain up. Let's get rid of this color and move on to round number 10 next. Let's move on to round number 10. So using the color, what we have here, C as in cat, and we're going to do exactly what we did down here, but there is a slight difference from the midpoint. See these spaces? That's what we're gonna do. So let's just join to the middle midpoint and chain your 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and double crochet back into the same spot. So the only difference between the last time we did this is that there is going to be 1 double crochet that is the very next stitch, and then you can start the jumping process of the chaining. So chain 1 and jump 1 stitch and just double crochet the next, and you're gonna do that all the way to the corner. So just skip 1, chain 1, and double crochet to the corner. So let's do that. So as we're jumping all the way down, you should be jumping in the last one that you are skipping. Chain 1, you should be skipping over the last one and then proceeding to the corner. So the corner is what you already know, so it's 2 double crochet and 1 treble and chain 1 to turn, and then we do the opposite. So 1 treble and 2 doubles, and then we start going up the other side. So chain 1, so we skip that one, the first one, and go to the second and begin to do that. So where the difference is at the midpoints, and so I'll be quiet as we make our way there. So I'm looking for the midpoint, which is right there coming up. So by jumping, this should take us literally to the stitch right before the midpoint if it's done right. So skipping 1, and it does. So that's great. So the last double crochet ends up in the last one just before the midpoint, and so your midpoint will be the next one. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. So I need you to continue to do what you already know now, and remember when you start back out of a midpoint, you're going to double crochet the next one right out and then chain 1 and then start skipping as you go, and do the corner exactly the way that you know how, that I've already demonstrated. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 10. As you're coming back around in round number 10, when you jump over, you'll end up in the very last double crochet just before the midpoint. If I could just stick my hook in there, that'd be even better. Okay, so we're gonna have that in there, and we're just gonna double crochet So as I come back around on number 10, if you're jumping over properly, you will be double crocheting into the very last double crochet before the midpoint, and then you're just going to join it to the third. Get rid of this color. We're going to move on to round number 11 next. So we're now going to move on to round number 11. So really essentially it's just a double crochet in each of the stitches and chain 1 spaces. The corners will still be the same of 2 double crochet, 1 treble, and chain 1 treble, and 2 double crochet. I'm having trouble saying that today, I don't know why. So I'm going to come into the space, the chain 1 space, and join, and chain 4, and double crochet back in. So each one of the stitches and spaces will all have a double crochet. Nice and easy round for you. And then just remember the corners are 2 double crochet, 1 treble, chain 1 treble, and 2 double crochet. And the midpoint, of course, when you get there, right down here, is going to be 1 double crochet, chain 1 double crochet. So you already have done this before, so I'll rely on you to get this done, and this is round number 11. I'll be back in just a moment. I'm coming up to the end of round number 11. I'm just going to join it, and we're going to get rid of this color and be back for round number 12 in just a moment. So we're now coming up to round number 12. In 12 we're going to do the faux popcorn once again, and we are going to start, so the good side is facing up right now, so I want to turn it over and go to the wrong side. Now there's a slight difference if this in the midpoint corner. So we're then going to join to the chain 1 space, and we're going to just slip stitch it, chain 1, and we'll do 1 single crochet, chain 1, and 1 single crochet. The difference is the last time we did this is that we immediately put a treble into the next. We need, because we have an extra stitch to worry about, we have to put a single crochet into the first one that comes out of a midpoint. So when we finish a midpoint there will be a single crochet just before it. So that's the only difference. So we're gonna single crochet the first one and then start with those trebles like you had before. So it'll be a treble, and then the next one is a single. So I need you to keep doing that all the way across until the point of the corner, and we'll meet back up there in a moment. So just keep on alternating between single crochets and trebles, and I'll see you at the corner in a moment. So as I'm making my way to the point, the very last one before the point should be a treble, and then you're going to do your point how we've already done it before. So it'll be 2 half double crochets, and then a double, and then chain 1 to turn, and then it will be a double and 2 halves. Okay, so when you start out from the corner point here, it'll be a treble to begin, and then it's singles is the next, and you'll keep alternating until you get to the midway point, where I'll see you there in just a moment to make sure that you got it going properly. So I'm coming to the midway point, and before I'm there, the last one before the midway point is a single crochet, and then the midway point is a single crochet, chain 1 single crochet. So when you start out from a midpoint like before, the first one is a single crochet, and then you progress into the treble, and then keep alternating until you get to the next point. So I want you to do this all the way to the next point. Remember the point will be 2 half double crochets, 1 double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, 2 half double crochets, and you'll come all the way back to the very beginning. So please do the rest of the round on your own, and I'll be back in just a moment to carry on to the final round of this diamond shape. Coming to the end of number 12, the very last stitch should be a single crochet, and then you're just gonna join to the first single crochet. Get rid of this color, and we're gonna go on to the round number 13, which will be the final. So let's do the very final round, and it's using the color B as in Bob. So make sure the project is now facing up, so you'll see all the texture of the faux popcorn plus the tulip stitch, and I need you to join in to the chain 1 space that's in the midway point. We've already done this before, so I'm just gonna get you started and just quickly talk you through it. So just join it with a slip stitch, chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. and then just in the same spot just double crochet. So each one of the stitches all the way around is going to have one double crochet, starting with the very first single crochets that you'll have here. And the corners, we already know what we're gonna do with those. Those are going to be 2 double crochet, 1 treble, and chain 1, 1 treble, and 2 double crochet. So it's exactly what you already know with the double crochet rounds that we've done before. Like we've where is it in here? Just this white section. So I need you to do this all the way around, and this is round number 13, the final round for your particular diamond. So we'll meet back here in just a moment. Before I let you go, remember that the midway point when you get down to the middle section here is going to be 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. So don't forget to do that either. Kind of forgot to tell you. So continue. I'll see you at the end of this round in a moment. So I'm coming up all the way around in round number 13. I'm gonna need you to fill in all your diamond shapes to make sure that you have all 6 done, and then just join it to the top of the, at this point just join it to the 3rd chain up. So weave in your ends, and when I come back I have to actually do the work in advance now. So I'm gonna have to do some more of these diamond shapes before I can show you the join, but that will be coming up in just a few seconds from now. But in the meantime I have to do that. So I'll see you back here in just a few seconds. But meantime, it'll probably be tomorrow or the next day before I'm filming that section next. So I'll see you back here in a second. So we're now at the point that we want to sew these diamonds together. Oh hush now, I think I just heard a groan somewhere. The thing about sewing is that once you start sewing, you know that you're coming to a conclusion. So I don't ever look at sewing on a project of a motif as being an inconvenience. I look at it as a staging step that it's close to being the end. Now originally when I was planning this, I wanted to put the sewing of all of it in together into 1 week, but I was so excited when I did it that once I had all 6 done, I wanted to see how it would puzzle together immediately. So instead of dragging you for another week, I wanted you to have the opportunity. So I would strongly recommend that you have all 6 done before proceeding into this part of the process. Now there's a method to the science here, and I'm gonna tell you what that is. So knowing that I sew and I don't mind doing it, I originally was gonna sew it so that I was gonna sew here, 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 and I was gonna do it individually. But the problem is that I really wanted the opposite to pull into each other. So the way that I did it is that I sewed, and so let's just say I got the arrow going this way. So I sewed along this edge, and instead of stopping I decided to continue, and I joined these 2 together at the same time. So I went all the way across like this, so that these 2 pulled into these 2 right in the actual tip. Once that was done, I then applied the other 2 that were left over, and I went all the way across on this seam, and then I went all the way across on this seam. So really the important one is here. So make sure that when you go across the first time that you are realizing that you have space for the other 2. So whatever color you decided to do as your final border for these is going to be the same color that you should use to do the join. Therefore it will be invisible, and we're gonna use the back loops of each one of these, and we're gonna move our way across. And so I'm gonna demonstrate how that's done. So I'm gonna just pull up a sample here. I'm doing a smaller sample here on screen with you today, but I can demonstrate enough of it just to give you an idea. So here's what I'm gonna do. So here's one of my samples, and I actually technically have only done 3 for this tutorial series. I should have done all 6, but I just need to demonstrate the steps for you. So what you want to do is that you want to put these together, and so essentially this will be considered the outside of the blanket, and the rest of it, this will naturally form into the circle. So we're going to start off with the very tips right here at the midpoint, and we're gonna go all the way across. And what I need to do is that I need to go down all the way to where they'll meet at the point here, and so the other ones will also meet at the same point. So I did a little bit of a, let me just get it here in the bucket. So here's an example. So here is, let's just say that I did 2 more. So this is what it would look like here. So just think that they're much bigger. So when I go to jump across, what I want to do is when I come into the back loops of here, I want to jump in, and say that I finish here, I want to jump in and go on an angle here, capture this one here, jump on an angle, and then come back and go down. And the reason why I'm doing that is that it's gonna pull it tightly in so that you have a closed center. So don't just jump down and as soon as you finish this and just go to these and continue. Just make sure that you do go diagonally so that you can really pull those together. Then at the end of this, and I should have done one more but I didn't. So at the end you're gonna have 2 spaces left over, and so those will slide into position, and these get a lot more narrow, so this is just more of a demonstration. So you'll have the space on both sides and you'll go up on the angles to nail those. So let's begin, and you're going to need a strand, and the strand I measured out to be 94 inches or 234 centimeters long, and that's what I measured in order to go all the way across. So that's an indication, because somebody's gonna ask me how long did you make that strand. So it's a very long strand, but you want to do it in one piece all the way across. So let's just grab the yarn that is the final color here, and I will demonstrate how to attach these here when we get there. So we're gonna start off at the midpoint. Okay, so when I look at it, we're gonna start off at a midpoint. Let me turn that upside down. So this is what I'm looking at, and I will be coming down like this across. Let's begin. So the first thing I like to do is to create a slip knot on the one side. Just keep a little bit of a longer strand, and you can use that strand with a tapestry needle in order to bring it in. So what I want to do is I put the other side onto the tapestry needle, and just put it on. And I want to go across the midway point itself. So when I go across, I'm looking for where the midway point is, and I'm gonna match the chain, and I'm just gonna match the outside one here, so I'm not going into the complete space. And then the other side, I'm just looking to where it is, and I'm gonna go into this one. So noticing that I'm not going right into the space, I'm just going into the back loop. So it's the back loop of this one and the back loop of this one. And I'm gonna pull through, and what I want to do is that I want to find that slip knot I just made, and I want to insert that in, and that will lock it into position. Now lay this strand down on top, and now you're going to progress to the back loop of this one and to the back loop of the next one that's available to you. And you want to leave that straggler down on top, so when this goes around, this is called a whip stitch, that it'll go around and hold that straggler underneath. And if you prefer not to do that and use a tapestry needle to hide it, you can do that as well. So I keep it just slightly ajar from each other, just slightly spaced so I can see it. So back loop of this one, back loop of the other one, and you want to go in over top of the straggler for maybe about an inch. You can go a little longer if you feel more comfortable. And then what I would do then is throw it to the back side, and then just just use a tapestry needle to hide it. So what I'm doing is that I'm going all the way down to the point. So I'm gonna do that off camera, and when I get down there I'm going to show you how to jump across to the other two that will be directly across, just to demonstrate that. So if you weren't watching me, this is enough for how many times that I want to hide that in. So I'm gonna tuck that underneath out of the way and then continue straight on down. So my goal here is to watch and make sure that the stitches line up to each other, so they should match exactly if their stitch counts are right all the way down to the point, which I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm coming very close to the end, and the stitches should match up to each other. If you're short one stitch or whatever, just jump over it. Like if this was an extra stitch here and this was extra, I would just go and jump over it and pull it in. I've done that before. You can hide stuff easily that way. So I want to go all the way down to the point. Okay, and it is a chain one space, and I want to keep on going. And just peel it back if you need to see it. So I'm in the chain there. So now I want to jump to the next one. So the next two will come in like this. So these just represent that. And so I would just immediately come into and just pretend it's a big one. So just come into the space, still in the back loop only, and pull it back into here. Okay, then I would jump across in the same one that I was just in, and go across and get the back one of this one, the back loop. And therefore both of these are in diagonally to each other. and you will have the other space left over for the other one. Then what you can just do is go straight across and match it, and just coming straight on down, stitch this, matching the stitches together, and you're gonna go all the way to the midpoint, and that's where you're gonna end. So do you see now that I'm going into the green why we want to choose the same color as the border? Because it will not be seen. So then you keep on going until the midpoints match each other, and then that's where you're gonna finish off, and then you'll bring in the other two, and you'll go along the edge, along here to here, and then you'll do the other edge coming from here all the way across, or vice versa depending on what you want to do. And this would be how you do it. So let me show you how to fasten off once you get all the way to the midpoint. So you're gonna get all the way to the midpoint on the other one. Just remember this is a representation, and that's where you're gonna end your journey so that you'll end up having the indentation coming in. So then I go straight across once I've done once more, and I will make sure that it ties itself into a knot. Now because the fact is, see now it's in there, and I will turn it and I'll flip it, and I'll just drag it through the back side of the work, and just stay within the same color. So in my case this should have been technically yellow. I purposely never made those yellow though, so that you can purposely see how the stitch work is gonna go, because it'll pretty much be invisible. So you're gonna go back and forth a total of 3 times. And then once you're happy with that, then you can just secure that in. Now the other one, when we started, if you recalled, is that I tucked it in behind, so it's still sitting there. So what you can do for that, if you're not comfortable with it just holding like it is, and I am comfortable, but if you're not, just put it through a tapestry needle once more and just go back in the direction from which you came, just a slightly different path. And then back in the other direction once again. So if you make that too short, you won't be able to do that, and therefore you can safely cut it. So this creates the join that is called the invisible join, because it will sit completely flat. So if you crocheted those together, you would see like a windowsill, kind of like a lump coming out. This is completely flat. So this is a neat idea. So what I want you to do is completely sew all of these together so that you have the formation that it shows within the pattern itself. So it will look like this. If it's buckling, what I want you to do is just dampen this out and just lay it out on a table or a clean floor or something, and just dampen it and let it dry. So just kind of pull on it so that it sits flat. You should not have much of a problem with it. I didn't, but if you did, that's what you would want to do. So just want to stretch it out and kind of pull on it so that it will completely sit out for you. So this is the end of week number 2, and next week we're going to start our triangles. The triangles will be 1 week, and we will also then sew those in to those spaces that you will end up having at the end of each one of these. So that's it for now. Let's go back to the park. Let's hustle on over, and I'll see you back at the park in week number 3.
So welcome to the other side of the pond. It's not really, I'm kind of too lazy to walk over there, but I was over there earlier, trust me. So what we have here is that you're going to be finishing your diamonds today and be able to put those together. I think it's kind of exciting because originally I was doing this one so that you would put it together in the next time. But I thought, why not put it together now? You just want to see how it's going to puzzle, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to see you on week number 3, where we're going to start the triangles. And the triangles, we're gonna zoom our way all the way through that because it's only halves. We're gonna do all the triangles at the same time. That's on week number 3, and I'll see you over there, and we're gonna continue our journey. I'm hearing noise. What's that? I'll see you next time. Bye.